Thank you for joining me. I'm Alex, and we got ourselves a bit of a situation today, didn't we? So, the stock market crashed or went down. It's not a crash really until it happens over and over again, but we got ourselves a bit of a correction today with two different news that kind of work together to really mess with things, so to speak. So, everything's talking about the inverted yield curve, which just means that people don't like 2-year bonds anymore, and people do like 10-year bonds now, which means that the 10-year bonds now pay less than the 2-year bonds, which is kind of weird if you think about it. And so far, every single recession was preceded by the inverted yield curve. So people are kind of scared, even though some other people are mentioning that this shouldn't really be worrying right now because the job market is doing well, companies are doing well, the interest rate is pretty low, so money is cheap, and the economic outlook is doing pretty well. So the inverted yield curve shouldn't really be happening, though, is kind of the point, which makes you wonder why it did. And so some people were panicking a little bit. And then Macy's disappointed on earnings a lot. So everyone thinks that Macy's is linked to pretty much all the other brick and mortar retailers, mostly the whole mall thing, where pretty much everyone that's even tangentially tied to malls is going down hard today. So we have Kohl's and Nordstrom down 10%, which is a lot. Also Macy's, obviously. But I've covered both of these stocks before, and I own both of these stocks. And so now let's talk about where do we go from here. And you cannot predict the market, or at least I cannot predict the market and what it's going to do tomorrow. Warren Buffett said that no one can predict the market. Benjamin Graham also said no one can predict the market. So all of the great minds of investing are saying you cannot predict the market, and you can just do what you can with the hand you're dealt. So basically, after the fact, you can do the best decisions you can make and kind of let everything else sort itself out. So I own both of these stocks that I've listed, and they kind of went on sale today, so I had to go ahead and buy some kohl stock today. Because, as I mentioned in the video before, like 2 days ago, I think, in Should You Buy Kohls? And I think that it's a great dividend stock. I think that we need to see what happens with a partnership with Amazon returns and everything. And I think that Kohl's in itself seems to be a fairly safe stock. So obviously the partnership with Amazon is going to bring in more people. How many more is kind of the big question there, but I think that we need to figure out what's going to happen with that and kind of give that a little while to see what happens. Now, I would get kind of worried if Kohl's did come out with weak numbers, and I would have to revisit the stock from there. But right now, I'm not actually that worried for several reasons. Now, the Macy's thing, kind of worrying. The JCPenney thing, where there is no more JCPenney's really. JCPenney still exists, but the stock is trading pretty far down. So there's the whole thing with a lot of retail businesses going broke, going out of business, closing their stores. Obviously, they're going to close the unprofitable ones first, and there's a bit of a consolidation happening. Now, whether or not that's a good thing for the rest of them remains to be seen, but Amazon is also forcing everyone to kind of get an e-commerce presence and do business on the internet. Obviously, if people have been shopping at Kohl's or Nordstrom or Macy's or JCPenney, they will likely check out their website and go from there. If they trusted the brand before, there's no reason they wouldn't trust the e-commerce brand. So I kind of think that Amazon disrupted things enough to where it forces everyone to be present on the internet, to have an online presence, to have an online store, to ship things to people's houses, especially when things are out of stock, because obviously that's one of the major downsides to going to a store. You don't want to drive for 20 minutes to get to a store and then they don't have what you need. So I just advocate waiting right now. I did buy some Kohls today. I advocate buying Kohls at Nordstrom right now because I think they're seriously on sale. I'm not sure about Macy's after they missed earnings by so much. And I haven't really done any research into Macy's because I really wasn't that interested in Macy's before. So maybe I'll do that sometime. But for the meantime, I'm obviously leaving my money in Kohl's and Nordstrom because there's really no reason for me to pull it out right now. Fundamentally, I think nothing has changed. It's just that the stock market dipped and things got cheaper, so I bought. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the crash right now. I don't know what happens tomorrow. I don't think anyone knows what happens tomorrow. It could go back up, could go way down. Who knows? It's just prices are cheap right now, so I'm buying. And I don't think you should sell. That's pretty much it. Whatever else you do, don't sell. Pretty much the gist of it right now. If you like this video and you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe. I'm coming out with more videos every day before market open. I hope you have a successful day.